Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm going to be teaching us how to draft the upper part of this gown, which is an halter neck coat shoulder. So please, if this is something you like, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share. Thank you. So I've gone ahead to place the horizontal measurement, just as you can see, up to the half length, and I've also gotten the arm side, just as you can see. So now the neck width and depth is 3 by 3 inches. For the standard is your bust measurement divided by 12. Whatever you get, you mark it as the width and depth because everybody's neckline is not the same. So now I'm going to be imputing the nipple to nipple measurement. Then I'm going to rule a straight line across, just as you can see. So the intake on both sides is 0.75. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the line up to the bust points, just as you can see. Now for the under bust contouring, at the side I marked 0.75 and here I marked 0.5. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect the lines, just as you can see. This is the contouring of the under bust. So I'm just also going to connect it to the bust point, just as you can see. So now I'm going to be placing the bust measurement divided by 4, the under bust measurement divided by 4, plus what I took in there was about 2 inches. So the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches that I took in. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the lines, just as you can see. Then the 1 inch for the bust dart, the difference between the front and back waistline. I'm doing a princess dart. I'm going to get the midpoint of the arm side like this. I'm going to connect it to the bust point, just as you can see. So I'm going to be contouring it by 1 inch. So I've marked 1 inch below. So I'm going to reconnect the lines to that 1 inch. So I'm just going to be extending it by that 1 inch that I contoured. So I'm just going to be connecting it to the arm side, just like this. So I don't like the way the shape is. It's looking funny. So I'm just going to try and reshape the lines and reconnect it to the arm side, just as you can see. So there's an opening around the shoulder, so I'm marking 1 inch for that. I'm going to be connecting it to the armhole, just as you can see. So I marked 1 inch around the neckline like this. So this is what we have. I'm not done with the front pattern yet, but we'll continue with it later. The back pattern, I'm going ahead to mark the horizontal measurements, just as you can see. So at the center back, I marked 0.75 there, then I connected the lines to the shoulder line, just as you can see. I'm also using 3 inches for the neck width of the back and 1 inch for the depth. And I've also marked the arm side, just as you can see. I'm going to be placing the nipple to nipple measurement like this, plus 0.75 like this. So what I have, I'm going to mark it on the chest line so that I can have a straight line. So the intake on both sides is 0.75. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect the lines like this, just as you can see. I'm going to be placing the bust measurement divided by 4 and the waist measurement divided by 4 plus the dart intake that I took. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect the lines like this. There's also a princess dart for the back. So I'm going to get the midpoint of the arm side, then connect it just like this. I'm going to connect the lines like this, as you can see. So I'm just trying to blend this so it doesn't have sharp edges, just as you can see. So I'm also going to go ahead and label out the patterns. Now let's move to the front pattern. So for the front pattern, I'm going to open up the dart so that I can close up the side dart. I'm going to be opening it up to the bust point like this. So I'm going to cut the paper through and cut it up to the bust point as well. So this is what I have. I'm going to be closing the dart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper tip, use it to hold it down just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and take my ruler and pencil and reconnect the lines just like this, because if you don't do it, you'll be having shortage. So I'm going to connect the lines like this. I'm going to carefully cut out the front pattern, just as you can see. I'm going to carefully cut it out so that we can mark out the coat shoulder for the front. So this is what we have. I know there are 2 parts for the front, so I'm just going to hold it down like this. You are going to connect the bust point to the bust point of both sides. So if you connect it like this, you can see there's a little bit of shortage. So I'm just going to take my paper tape like this just using it to replace the shortage. So I'm just going to go ahead and reconnect it again, so I can mark out, I can remark the lines just as you can see. So I'm going to use my scissors to reshape the lines. So the shortage that I have replaced it, so by the time I'm sewing, I'm not going to be having any shortage. I'm going to be connecting the two patterns for the front like this. So I'm going to use the paper tape to hold it down because of the cold shoulder sleeve we want to draft. So I'm going to extend the paper by the side. So this is very necessary. So you extend the paper by the side just as you can see. The next thing I'm going to do is try and extend the line from the chest line. I'm going to extend the line a little bit just as you can see. Now I want to determine how wide that place is going to be. So depending on how you want it to fall on your shoulder like this. So for me, I mark 3 inches. You can do more depending on what you want. So I mark 3 inches there. So here I marked 1.025 inches. So now for the length, I'm using 3.5 inches. So from that place, I'm also going to mark 3.5 inches. It's not going to be the same. I want it to be slanted a little bit. So I'm just going to mark 3.5 inches across. That's for the length. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect the lines like this. So the next thing, from that 1.025 that I marked, so I'm just going to try and be using my pencil to trace the line, just for it to give me a nice shape like this. So I'm just going to use my ruler to reshape the lines. So basically this is what we have for the cold shoulder. This is what we just try and connect the line. So I'm just going to use the marker to try and trace it out so that it can be visible, just like this. So this is what we have. So I'm just going to go ahead and trace out the excess paper by this side. I'm just going to trace it out like this. So for the back part, I'm also going to alter the neckline by 1 inch. So I'm going to mark 1 inch there, just like the way I did in front. I'm going to mark 1 inch. So I'm going to take my ruler and connect it to the armhole, just as you can see. I'm going to connect it to the armhole like this. Next thing, I'm just going to be extending the chest line, the line by the chest line. So I'm going to mark 3 inches. So for the length, I mark 3.5 inches. So I'm just going to connect the lines like this. So on that line as well, I'm also going to mark 3.5 inches. So I'm just going to rule a slanted line. I'm just trying to blend the lines to be a little bit curved, just as you can see. So for the width, for the cape, for the back, I marked 1 inches, but for the front, I marked 1.025. So I'm also go ahead and try to connect the lines like this, just like the way I did in front. So I'm just going to use my marker to trace out the lines so that to be visible, just like this. So this is what we have for the back cape. So I'm going to carefully cut out the back pattern like this, just cutting out the excess paper that are not needed, just like this. I'm going to carefully cut it because I'm going to be cutting the front and back on a new pattern paper. So this is what we have, the front and back pattern paper. So I'm just going to use my pencil to trace out this line, this upper line first. I'm just going to use my pencil to trace it out, just as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to take the tracing wheel to trace these lines like this. So I'm going to carefully trace out the lines. So this is me tracing the front cape like this. So I'm also tracing out the back cape. So I'm going to carefully trace it out, just as you can see. Careful, trace it out carefully like this. So this is what we have. So I'm also trying to get the midpoint as well, the midpoint. So I'm just going to use the tracing wheel to get the midpoint like this. So I'm going to take this out. So I'm going to be following the tracing line to cut out the patterns like this. So I'm going to cut it out carefully, just as you can see. So I have the front and back pattern which I'll be cutting together. So I'm going ahead to label the patterns. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the front pattern. So guys, if this is something you like, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share. So I'm already cutting out the back pattern as well. So this is what the front pattern and the back pattern, this is what it looks like. So this is the cape of the front and back. So you're going to be cutting the front and the back together. So this is what it basically looks like. So now I want to mark the collar. So this is the back pattern. So what I have for the back pattern is 2 points, I think 2.1 something, plus that 1 inch that I took out. So I'm going to be adding it. So this is for the front pattern as well. So I'm going to mark what I have on the neckline. So I'm going to mark what I have on the neckline. So I think I had about 3 point something, plus the 1 inch that I took out as well. So I'm just going to be adding it together. So what I have for the front and back, I'm going to add it together. I think I had about 7 point something. So 7 point something. So whatever you have, 7 point something that you have, you multiply it by 2. That's 15 in total. So because you are going to be cutting on fold, so in total I'll be marking 7 point something. That's I'm cutting half of it. So I'm going to rule a starting line like this. So I'm going to rule a starting line. So in total I had 15 or thereabouts. So now I'm going to be rolling a starting line like this. So now what I have for the front neckline, I had about 4 something. So whatever you have for yourself, you mark it like this. So that's like the center back. So what I have for the back, about 3 point something. So I'm also going to be marking it here like this. So then I'm just going to be ruling the lines. I'm going to rule a straight line like this. So I'm going to label it as the back and this for the front. So I'm going to rule the center line like this straight up. So now I'm going to determine the width of the band, of the collar I mean. So I'm using 1 inch. I'm going to mark 1 inch there. I'm also going to mark 1 inch there. So for the center front, I'm going to mark half an inch first. Then I go ahead and mark 1 inch above the half inch because I want it to be slant so that I can sit well on the neck. So I'm just going to try and connect it. I'm not using that part of the curve, but this part of the curve I used was a little bit too curvy though. But just do it in a way that everything blends well. So I'm just going to connect it to that half inch like this. That half inch. So the curve is looking a little bit funny though, but make sure that you connect yours very well. So then at that point I'm going to like mark half an inch. I'm going to come in by half an inch. Then I'm going to rule a slant line just like this. I'm going to rule a slant line just as you can see. So you make sure you also had your zipper allowance when cutting this collar. So make sure that you are cutting this collar on fold. The collar should be cut on fold. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the collar. So this is what we have for the collar. So I'm just going to bring the front and back pattern and try to place the collar on it. So this is what we have. And by the time I put it, so the distance I have is that 1 inch that I took out. So that's the distance that is showing like that. So this is what we have for the front and back pattern. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share. Thank you.